We'll see whether or not you're going to be right today, Mac. We're heading into Train. It's map number 1, and G2 and ENCE going head-to-head here. It's going to be a good matchup. Looking forward to it and see who's going to kick things off with that 1-0 lead after this map.
Yeah, Jordan, I was just wondering, if it's a sunny day outside and it starts raining, is it no longer sunny?
It could potentially become sunny again. What if it's a rain shower?
I guess so. I guess that's true.
See?
There you go.
That's
All
what I'm
right,
saying.
well, initial smoke deep into CT connector, thrown over the top of the outside area by ENCE, trying to drop some utility, sow some seeds of doubt into the mind of the CTs. Alu sneaking through that Ivy smoke, does find a nice timing, traded back by Kenny.
Indeed, Amanek here going to be sitting on the bomb site alongside Hunter, but already G2 are getting a fair bit of work done. ENCE haven't even gotten into the bomb site at all. All of their heads have been banged off, and I mean, that's probably the cleanest pistol round you're going to see in ESL Pro League.
Yeah. I mean, it was looking a little bit more back and forth when you got the initial Ivy pressure coming out, but then the rest of G2 all just hit some sharp pistoling shots. Kenny S gets a 3K and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, really solid start for G2. Now, let's see if they can stop ENCE on the anti-eco, because they're going to be going for the force here. A couple of deagles, Alu with that scout, always looking dangerous, and a couple of pieces of utility there. Yeah,
just 3 smokes and a flash. Not really the ideal util to really make any crazy in-depth tactic happen. Initial smoke onto sandwich utility in towards SL and T-Con from G2, taking a lot of control and emphasis on this outer train yard, and then leaving Kenny S to fall back to inners. Initial contact will be made towards Nexa. He actually loses a lot of health through the spam in the wall and doesn't drop his molly instantly. Very patient on the utility.
He does have the backup there of Kenny S as well, so there's a bit of extra util available on this B bomb site than ENCE might be prepared for.
Still early round, but Aerial just waiting for that smoke to fade. It's a matter of time. A good double nade. Big damage onto Sunny. And that's going to be the softening. Flash out. Aerial makes his way across the first lane. He's actually pushing straight up, all on his own for the moment. Sunny waiting in that smoke again. It's going to be the bomb drop with Nexa. Managing to find him. Flash across. Nexa still just trying to fight here, allowing Hunter to find some space. But that bomb, it just needs to be held on to. Sergey going to be falling. Now it's up to Alu to get anything done. Nice shot on the Hunter. And a second on the Nexa. Okay, here's something.
Well, Alu might just be able to have a little bit more of a say in this round. He does have 2 full HP targets, though. And there's a smoke right in his face. So with only 38 seconds, it actually does look like he's more interested in backing away and keeping this scout through to the next round. Already, though, some pretty decent damage to the CT economy. If you can take 3 guns away from a round like that, I mean, it's not obviously a win, but it's something.
He's a sneaky boy. Coming in through CT connector here. You can see Amanex keeping tabs on that. Smoke onto upper ramp. Will he find the right timing here? Pre-fire in from Amanek. He's not able to secure that kill. So 2 alive for G2. Almost a little more damage there for ENCE towards the end. But all things considered, that's a decent outcome for ENCE. And we will see if they try to go for a bomb plan in this round. Do they try to upgrade some pistols and inflict further damage? Looks like it will be the latter.
You are correct. There are many ladders here on train. Are you okay?
Hilarious.
I thought you were just trying to state the obvious.
I was doing the MC laugh.
Can't do him like that, Bailey.
That's toxic.
It's a bit too early in the morning to be doing jokes like that. It goes way over my head.
Speaking of, can I get a time check, Jordan?
You can get a time check, Mac. It's 5:05 AM on Friday, the 11th of September.
Beautiful. Just like that shot. Yampy straight onto Jackson. That's a nice opening for ENCE here.
It's great crosshair placement. You love to see it. You love to see the boy just crab walking on the Ivy line.
I mean, to ENCE's credit, they kind of got banged out in the pistol, but in the last 2 rounds, the force buy from ENCE and now this one here with just the pistols, they've been kind of giving G2 a little bit of trouble.
And that's so critical on train. I mean, when we were watching like Triumph Furia, there wasn't any economic damage coming out on the T side for Triumph, and that allowed the CT economy to build up so much. This is literally the polar opposite of that. ENCE is taking so many guns off of G2's hands, and that is so important on train to keep that CT economy fragile.
Hunter on the offline is going to go down Yempi again. Just too dangerous with the Deagle now. It's all up to Amanek to try and hold. Kenny S coming in from CT. We'll find at least one. Amanek still needs to hold here. Sergey not going to be making his way through SL yet. Waiting for an aggression. Speaking of, Amanek just wrapping around the bomb train. Kenny S coming in at the right moment. Now back to the 2-on-2 we go. 2-on-1 make it. Yempi last alive. Let's see if he can maybe thread the needle. But there's going to be no sewing done today.
Needed to get another double kill with that Deagle. It looked like such a good setup for ENCE, but then G2 just a bit too much room to work with on the bomb site, and they're able to deny the plant. Things fall apart from there for ENCE, and now we're at 3-0. That said, ENCE have got a lot of damage done in these last couple of rounds.
Yeah, dude, look at the money on G2. It's absolutely terrible. Amanek, he has to go down to pretty lackluster utility. He actually didn't think he was going to buy that extra grenade, but only 1,200 and 1,300 for two of the players. The rest of them are broke for G2. They lose this round. They are cooked in terms of the cash. Initial smoke out onto Sandwich, as well as some flashes over the top, while Yampi just keeps tabs on towards Ivy there. Double setup towards low ramp. One playing anti-flash for the default.
This is looking nice. Nexa might just work the timing. Great flash from the teammate. Amanek throwing that from the top of Grey, and that's going to be a pick. G2 happy with that. We'll fall back towards the B site now as ENCE try to accelerate towards the outer bomb site.
Yeah, smoke goes down, but they're going to go straight through it. By E-Box's Sergey lining up a little bit of util. Jax has found himself another one here, and ENCE really struggling to crack the nut that is G2 at the moment. Ali and Sergey, 2-on-5. Fairly unreasonable odds against them. They do have a little bit of time to work with, to be fair, but how do you make this one work? Certainly not that way. Kenny S, one of our highlighted players at the start of today, has won that first AWP duel. And the scoreline now is 4-0, so G2, they secure a solid gun round.
And into the fifth we go. G2 looking very solid out of the gates, 4-0. Great aggressive play in the previous round to open up the festivities and stop ENCE before they could get anything going. And what do we got? Just pistols armor. Decent utility for ENCE to maybe get some extra damage done. But you got the Tech 9 and the CZ buy, so maybe a faster approach. No one out towards the A site just yet. Two men push at Ivy about to come through. Jax needs to deal with that one.
Well, here comes the pop flash, and ENCE are going to try to explode off the back of it. They go straight out of Ivy, but not through the smoke into the site itself. G2 just waiting, watching and waiting. Rotation has started to come across from the B bomb site as well, and that's what's interesting because the bomb is headed in that direction. This is more of a fake than anything else on A, and if ENCE gets the timing right, they will get a bomb plant down on B. Any damage that they can get on A is going to be a bonus, and Yampi already giving them one kill. Sunny now has an M4 to work with, but Kenny S posted on the line with the AWP. Bomb plant has gone down on B. Looks like the round will be over here, but Sunny might get away with an M4 or another kill or two.
Just trying to make his way into SL, but you can see Hunter has his number. And that's going to be 5 in a row for G2. Almost the perfect round, other than Amanek falling there over close to T-Con. But again, G2 just looking sharp today. I like the initial strat coming out there. You had, I think it was Sunny throwing a flash from T-Con all the way over towards the back of Green as well, combined with the pop flash coming out of Ivy, just to create so much space. And there was that chance to go for the full wrap. First, smoke came out at Old Bomb, trying to allow them passage into CT, but they didn't commit to it.
Yeah, and so far it's Kenny S that's doing a lot of the work for G2, 11-2 at the moment, you can see.
Well, speaking of pop flashes, just wanted to quickly highlight this play over here that we did see on the first gun round. Is just that you see ENCE actually setting up to go for this like classic Inner's Hall's default. Alu doesn't actually have any utility, he doesn't have a flashbang on him, so he's not going to be able to flash his teammates onto the line. You see G2, they're ready with that counter flash setup. But actually, it's G2 who were the aggressors. I thought it was the flash coming out from the T side, but it's actually Amanek sending his two teammates in with just this flashbang over the top on the timing for them to be able to take this fight in towards Inner's Hall. So even in the first gun round, right off the back, you see that initial aggression in anticipation of a default rather than just a bit more of a standard play. G2 getting aggressive, and they've got themselves off to a very momentous start with that.
Speaking of aggression, KDS peaking uppers initially, and that's going to be the B site. Lost straight away, hence they have to try to go for the acceleration, but it looks like they're just going to slow things down, not overcommitting.
I don't really mind that, though, to be honest, from Kenny S. He's got a lot of confidence at the moment. He was 11-2. He feels like he can win those sorts of aim duels, and he's the kind of player that if he does start to do that and he starts to make it work, it's going to make life incredibly difficult for ENCE. Hasn't worked out in this instance, but the mentality and the intent is more so what I'm talking about, rather than the execution. 1 for 1 there for Nexa. I mean, it's not ideal. Doesn't bring things back into the favor of G2, but at least gives them the information that it's towards B.
I don't know about that, to be honest. I like that aggression because you're looking at the setup for G2 right now. They're going hyper aggro. Unfortunately, ENCE is ready for it every single time, but the position that G2 was in before, all centralized, allowed no route around this SL. The whole team was there, ready for the contact to come out from ENCE, but every single peak from G2 was being punished by ENCE. They're so on point at the moment, just dotting all their I's, crossing all their T's, and they put themselves in a very advantageous situation.
Yeah, I mean, 1 on 4, a little bit too much, I'd say, for Amanek. And he'd have some doubt starting to creep into his mind, you know, maybe I should probably just save this M4. There's a fair bit of cash on the rest of the team, but not for Amanek. So if he can save this M4, G2 gets a really good buy next round. If he doesn't, I mean, they're still going to get a buy, but it's not going to be as good. So he'll be much preferring to keep the gun alive, which it looks like he'll be able to do because ENCE are not too eager to hunt for their own right. They actually don't have that much money. So not going to go throwing away any guns just yet.
Yeah, you're saving $4,500 if you do get this save over the board, and that's looking pretty good. It's a lot of money. Wouldn't mind $4,500.
Mac, you just won $1 million.
Yeah, but, you know, you can never have enough. Never have too much. That's the one. Anyway, ENCE get their first round over the line before it gets too late. G2, 5-round streak is going to be ended. And a nice couple of entries coming out towards the B site. ENCE, the patience seemed to be the answer that time. Let's see if they can do it again.
This would be the great time to be able to doing it for ENCE. Could potentially reset that CT money. You're seeing it's getting very shaky on KDS, Hunter, and Amanek there. Potential reset on the cards here for ENCE if they play their cards right. There's a couple of players defaulting over here towards Ivy. ENCE also poking at SL. Sort of indicates that they are thinking about potentially splitting this outside site.
Yeah, someone's going to have to go back and get that bomb, though.
Yeah, just maybe looking for a pick towards Ivy before they decide what to go for later on.
Plenty of time, of course, but they have given up control of T-Con, which they're obviously quite aware of. You can see that. Aerial's keeping an eye on it for now.
You could see that early hard gamble just leaving the B side open. G2 very aware that ENCE aren't going for those rushes.
Yeah, they're very much playing their opponent at the moment, just with their setups, it seems. Haven't seen very much of a standard defense out of G2. A lot of aggressive setups, contact setups off the back of standard utility on defaults, like I highlighted before. And then in that round, just sort of gambling that there was going to be no push towards B. Jack's now peering over the smoke, does get that initial pick very nicely and falls off the line.
And G2 have been very, very good at getting the initial pick and making good usage of it so far as well. ENCE have been playing the majority of these rounds 4 on 5.
$20 seconds, ENCE need to make their move now. Bomb starting to make its way in through T-Con. Jampy straight through Ivy. Kenny S, solid position, trying to isolate the fight here, and he does so nicely. Alu, Kenny S seems to be aware that he's there, so he must have heard a scope, and Alu forced back 35 HP, last alive, but not for long. Nexa deals the deathly blow with 7 on the clock, and that's going to be 6 for G2. So ENCE couldn't put 1 and 1 together.
Yeah, very, very rough situation now for ENCE, because again, that just gives G2 the opportunity to start to build that CT economy back on up when they were starting to deplete the money a little bit. 3 guns alive in that one for G2, and they're looking really comfortable on the CT side of Train at the moment, which is no surprise. ENCE, though, able to get back into the Buyers Club as well. So it's not like they're out of this fight at the moment, but the more rounds that slip away, the further this is going to get from ENCE being able to pick up a map victory here. So they do need to get some work done early on in the piece. They don't want to let G2 run away with things. Good control of outer already here for G2 with all of that util being thrown in from Jax. He's going to put the smoke down as well and look to float across, but thinks better of it as those shots do come through. In the meanwhile, Kenny S was picked by Sunny. Now ENCE are the team that have that numbers advantage. So the question is, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, they need to utilize it and actually leverage it to a round win, because the CT economy is still somewhat shaky, hasn't really built up yet. ENCE now that T-Con control, going for a bit of a boost to look for a pick. Alu further extends their advantage. They haven't committed to anything yet though. A minute on the clock, ENCE still very much split up, spread out, waiting for potential aggression.
Oh, Amanek, he's going on the top of blue, finds a single, but Aerial there for the trade, so nice spacing between the players on ENCE to at least keep this two-man advantage. Hunter dodges that molly for the moment, but now they know that he's going to be there in SL. And he's going to go down to Aerial, it seems.
ENCE just playing a very good, slow, methodical style at the moment. Have found out Nex's position now.
Just over the top. Sergey going to be connecting and converting that round.
Well,
2 on the board for ENCE now.
this is where G2, their money's a bit cooked. Need to decide what to do with Jax's economy on that double eco territory. The rest of the boys could just take a single save and buy up in the next. So the question is, do they go for a bit of a janky, like 3 M4 force, maybe 1 MP9 and a pistol armor or something like that? Do they instead take the single save and just go for a full buy with 1 MP9 in the next round on Jax? Does look like they're opting for the force. So high risk sort of play. Money on ENCE is actually still a little bit shaky as well, so we'll see how it goes for them. Although the thing for ENCE is they still do have that loss bonus built up. This time Sergey gets down SL for free. It's a bit of a stack towards that inner sight for G2 at the moment. Maybe anticipating some aggression over there.
Probably knowing that ENCE have got a weaker buy, so they might try something quicker. Well, doesn't look like that's going to be a factor anymore. So I suppose that's a dead round. We'll see what happens here.
Pilly, you're on the spot. Have you got anything for us?
No.
Oh, Pilly.
Always
This is your time to shine.
disappointed.
I already did it in the last pause. What do you want from me?
Another one.
I wanted
What
to
is
see
there
the
to
sick
What
double
is there to
flash on the
highlight?
pistol.
What is there to Yeah, that's on the pistol, mate. What is there to highlight in the last couple of rounds? ENCE, what they are doing at the moment is it would be me following around T players in a default on Skybox, and then them just being like, oh, I shot another player in the side. Oh, I read the rotations perfectly.
But what about the sick back green smokes from T-Spawn now, because that skybox doesn't exist over Ivy?
Yeah, you could showcase that, but I feel like everyone's seen that at this point. They've been doing that for months.
I haven't seen it in Skybox though. And Skybox is cool.
Mac just wants you to do the skybox thing.
He does.
He's
I feel
really
like
just a bit needy.
To be
You
honest,
need to understand that.
To be honest, I feel like I should just swap with him and let him control it.
5
Yeah, but
a.m. in the
every
morning.
single freeze time, you'd never be able to get a word in.
Yeah, Mac would just be like, all right, boys, I saw this smoke.
Check out this smoke.
Have you guys seen this? He was standing here and he threw a flashbang over T-Con. Have you seen that before? It's like,
That's
yes,
called
yes, Mac.
teamwork.
They've been doing
Absolutely beautiful.
Any smokers in the chat?
Yeah, pack it A for 20 years.
Any flashes in the chat?
Any flashes in the chat? I don't know about that one, Pilsky. Look, smoking one thing, but flashing?
Any Molly purchases in the chat?
That one doesn't really stick.
Well,
Doesn't really stick. Anyway, I'm told we're going to get back underway with the game fairly shortly. Looks like the investments are coming through from both of the teams. I wonder what the reason for that was.
Oh, Kenny S. Straight on the poggers. 12-4.
Yep. He was 11-2 though. He's sort of slowed down in the last
he's
couple
gone
of
1
rounds.
for 2 in the last couple of
Hey,
rounds.
oh,
He's probably
damn.
he's probably done at this point. His
That
career
inconsistency
is well and truly
we
over.
were talking about.
Yep.
It all comes down to those last 2 rounds.
All I'm saying is Pilsky would have done better.
I don't. Oh.
I was literally thinking to myself before this game, I was watching Kenny S play in Titan back in the day and then try to ult myself and just getting absolutely owned by much worse players. So
Same setup from G2, by the way. They've got 3 toward B, 2 toward A again.
Yeah, let's see if Hunter pops this flash through and what timing they do it on. There it is. That's going to be Brownhorse control for G2.
all right, Mac, I'm going to go get that smoke for you.
Ah, beautiful. Let's see. Hunter, he's not actually able to get out of T-Con now. It's all up to Jack to try and hold the site here just with the Deagle. And it seems like that M4 is going to be rotated all the way deep into CT, just trying to find a deep line.
It's not going too badly for ENCE at all. And they'll look to break that economy of G2 one more time. Bomb plant's going down. Plenty of time for that smoke. And, well, rotation has started to come in from G2, but they're not looking all that eager to try and retake this bomb site. I think at the moment, even Jax is just clearing out long, saying, hey, fellas, if we want to save, this might be our good chance. And the other two will follow suit. But that's a bit unreasonable. That is really just not fair. And I think Aminek's probably not too pleased at what has just happened there.
I hate to burst your bubble, Mac, but they actually throw the green smoke from above ESL.
Oh, no.
Disappointing.
That's the old one. They're not doing the jump throw one from behind T-Con. So, I don't really know what you want me to do with that.
Look, it's alright, it's alright. You can get him next time. Anyway, look.
I will come back stronger. Flex emoji.
Let's see how this one goes as we head into round 10. There's some beautiful entries coming out from EMPE and Sergey. And that's a nasty one. Aerial through the smoke. Gonna be happy with that.
Finally, someone who doesn't play with their monitor above their head tilted upwards, but instead utilizes the natural human perception of your vision being slightly below your eye level.
Ooh.
Makes way more sense.
It's all about the posture. Anyway, look at this 5-man stacker towards the A site for G2. Just trying to send Kenny in off the back of the flash, but he's going to be dealt with nicely. Aerial playing anti-flash. Not going to be affected by that utility. And Nexa, he's just going to be providing some overwatch from above there at Heaven. G2 going for the full gamble on the A side.
Yeah, the tides are really starting to shift at this point. As I do say that, Jax is just causing a bit of terrain towards T-Con. Finally does go down, but with Nexa, with that M4, the round's not well and truly over yet. I have to say, though, ENCE, they're working themselves very nicely into this half here on that T side. Really starting to stack themselves up a few rounds. Sunny's in CT spawn.
Yeah, this is a really slow round from ENCE. They've got full control of the B bomb site. Bomb is only just now rotating in there. They got a fair bit of cash in the back pocket, so I wonder how much they actually want to invest in trying to chase down this M4. Do still have Aerial watching T-Con, making sure that no one can get in there and try and take the gun that was dropped. And he'll have a bit of work to do now. Hunter drops initially, he knows there's a second, and that's well dealt with by Aerial. So, next he probably gets away with his life here. Just by nature of where he's sitting. But pretty impressive string of rounds now for ENCE, starting to make the half look salvaged.
I think this is like the 3rd round in a row that Nexus saved this M4 across.
Yep, it probably would be, yeah.
Just keeping it going. Now let's see if G2 can get another, because ENCE have solidified their way back into the game. 4 rounds already as we head into round 11. The economy looking very stable. Let's see where they end up. They're going to be taking another tactical G2 to see what they need to fix and try to make this half look nice.
I wanted to showcase something, right?
Yep.
That I thought was interesting. This is like an anti-eco round, and you can just see after that initial contact came out, this is Aerial cleaning up the Deagling player. You did see like these 2 blokes at inners, if I go back just a second, basically just, I don't know what the read was, but they just both dry walk out lower ramp and upper ramp and just start sending it into inner in an anti-eco. And that's how Sunny actually ends up all the way towards upper ramp here. He just guns it straight up oil. So I don't know how much info they actually gathered, because I only saw, you know, that initial one fight come towards T-Con. I know Yampy was over towards Ivy. But 2 of them just kind of went dry into inners and just took that inners control after seeing that initial contact came out. So I thought that was interesting up against pistols. Back in the day, if one of my IGLs, I did that, one of my IGLs would rage at me.
Well, it's faster approach towards the outer side. Aminek, it's actually Nexa to finish the 2, and that's going to be bomb control now. ENCE just trying to force their way out of T-Con. You got Sergey coming in late from Ivy, but it's all gone wrong, and G2 were expecting this one.
Well, it was a change of pace from ENCE, and it certainly has not worked out at all. You're exactly right, Mac. G2 was expecting it. It's just Alu left alive now, and oh man, is he even going to be able to get any damage done here? He'll try to cross. Jax is going to spot him. That should be the end of him. 2 HP. Aminek gets the kill in the end, but oh man, that was a roughie for ENCE. Luckily, they've still got plenty of money to play with here, so it's kind of a throwaway round for them. But a good confidence builder again for G2, who have just suffered a few losses in a row. Nice to set that economy back up a little bit again on the CT side. And I don't know, I feel like for ENCE, that's maybe an opportunity, a door opened that they perhaps shouldn't have left ajar for G2.
So what do we got? Again, some early util towards outers. Just your basic set. Flash over the top with the sandwich smoke. Sunny looking to drop T-Con. And again, ENCE sending 3 players over towards Ivy. Let's see if they can get through Jax again. They've been doing a pretty solid job at finding him. Getting those picks time after time. Jax only sitting at 4 and 6 at the moment, so got that boost over the top. Alu just gazing, waiting for the smoke to fade, which it has now.
Yeah, just looking for those picks on the extremities. Sergey's taken that inners control. Could be the flash timing here for Hunter to push into T-Con. Kenny's has got the flash ready, sends him in.
There it is. Big pick.
Starting to get that feeling that G2 is looking to dictate how this game plays out. And ENCE just along for the ride again.
Jack's going to draw the attention by shooting a couple of pop shots down. Hunter can't get the second aerial. Nice trade. Now that's going to be a 2-man advantage for G2. Aerial not expecting Jax here at Old Bomb. It's all up to Alu, 1v4. It'll be a miracle if he gets back from here. And great patience being displayed by Jax. Looks like he's actually found the timing. Headshot onto Alu to close it.
I just want to look at that flash because that was beautiful. 1 minute 11 on the clock on the mid-round timing. Just sends his 2 CT teammates straight into T-Con. You love to see it. Easy pick. That's a man advantage for G2.
And a lot of the time, you can see G2, they've realized that so many rounds now, ENCE has just been sending 1 player into T-Con, so they know they have the numbers advantage, and with the flash as well, it's pretty much a free kill.
They've played pretty, aggressively, countering the default off certain couple of reads, whether it's the initial setup, like you saw towards inner ramp. That time, it was the flash on the timing into T-Con. G2's definitely been the more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but rather, assertive team of the two.
Yeah, it's bad news for ENCE. I guess this is their map pick, so they want to be getting off to a good start. And I guess, again, 4 rounds on T-side at this point of the half isn't necessarily too bad, but it's going to be a question of how much more they can actually get. If they can get this to 6, if they can get this to 7, then it's fine. If they remain on 4, then it becomes a little problematic.
Map control in there from ENCE, as they have just got aerial walking towards Ivy pretty late into the round here. Bomb was over there towards inner. They're still very spread out. ENCE have been really running the clock down time and time again. Sometimes to their benefit, a lot of the time to their detriment.
This time doesn't look like they're going to wait too long. The execute's starting to come out, hoping to draw a rotation across, and to an extent they have. There's 3 players in B, but with that kill from Hunter and no extra pressure, he can go back over toward A. Aminek's already here in SL, and this is a great start to the round for G2. ENCE, they've tried to toy with the rotations, but they just haven't quite got it right, and now they need entries. They've got them from Aerial. A double, and Alu watches the smoke, waiting for Aminek to push out from it, which he should surely get a kill from, but maybe not. Maybe a little bit too little, too late. What is that from Aminek?
Out of nowhere!
That's a massive 4K. And I'm looking at this round, and just in general, as to how ENCE has been playing on this T side, it feels like they're playing very sort of intuitive. An example of that is that, I was highlighting they just kind of went try into inner, low ramp and upper ramp because they felt like they had a good read. They felt like they had some decent information. That was another similar round like that. Sending Jampy into inner to cause the rotation, giving him a bit of freedom. Sunny drops SL at the time that he feels is right. And Aerial and the rest of the boys sneaking out Ivy after that initial contact is made and they pulled that rotation. They're trying to go for these good timings, and you can see there's the windows there, but they're not converting some of these kills that they need to make this style work.
You have to feel for Alu as well in that previous round. He just couldn't hold the line because of the smoke.
Here it is. Here it is.
Get it?
This is what you're excited about.
Yep.
I think it's the back green one, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
All the way over. Beautiful.
Yeah. What do we need Skybox when we've got God's over for, huh?
You're right. Aerial has got himself that hero AK and did do some pretty heroic work in the last round, but he's going to need to go even better this time. 2 kills isn't going to cut it when your teammates have only got pistols. Hunter's already started well, has actually grabbed himself a double. Ally with Sergey, well, there's not too much left in this round for them. Another good hold from G2, and they're looking good to grab themselves 11 on this CT side.
Yeah, I mean, it was an initial couple of rounds for G2 after ENCE was actually starting to get their T-side economy rolling, starting to run that default. I felt like, hey, here's the chance for them to get into the game. And after that wasn't working for a while, they were really running down the clock. I was thinking, this looks a little bit one-dimensional from the T-side from ENCE, but you have to give them credit. They did try to go for the faster play, but they got instantly shut down. They have tried to mix it up a little bit, but I feel like G2's just been converting a lot more of these important kills. They've looked a little bit sharper than ENCE have on train here, and ENCE missing a couple of small windows that they needed to take advantage of.
Let's see. If ENCE use the small windows, maybe a boost over the smoke. No, they're just going to wait for this one for the moment. Looks like Flash is going to come out, and that's going to be the bust straight through ESL Amanek. Falls back, Kenny S at the ready. Manages to find one straight through to E-Box. Jax threads the needle there, straight through Sandwich.
Yeah, looking too good at the moment is G2. Amanek's got himself another one. Rotation is coming in as well behind, but it's not even going to be required. That was demolition from G2. 11-4 in the first half, and they might look like they just want to get past the first map with a quick, clean victory.
You just gotta girl, I cannot teach anymore. Hope you show something not like anyone.
It's been a dominant display from G2 so far on the first map, and it's not even their map choice. 11-4 on the CT side of Train. That's now what ENCE has to do to get this one to overtime. They need to go one better to get a map victory here. And Mac, that's not an easy task.
Well, this half is G2's weak half as well. So there's every chance for ENCE to get back into the game, and they have been hitting shots. They have been looking pretty good. So let's see how it goes here on the pistol.
Does look like a bit of a faster approach towards this T-Con area from G2, just swinging out onto the U-box position.
Hunter takes that initial aim duel, but he's going to be backed up, helped out by Jax. Now a grenade going through, not actually going to do as much damage as ENCE would have liked it to have, because Hunter was quite low, but he's not finished off by it.
He's just waiting. Oh, Yampi straight through the smoke there. Hunter unable to stop anything because he can't see a thing. Now next up, pushing up as well, just trying to find and help Hunter here. No headshots for him. It's Sergey hitting back, and that's the man advantage now for ENCE. Sergey just spotting both the remaining Ts. Now ENCE, they have all the information in the world. How do they use it?
Back to the 2-on-2 though. Yampi down to 74 HP and Amanek pushing close. Might have to take a 2-on-1 here, which he doesn't want to do. It all gets around the side. Trades out Nexa. And we're down to single figures for both of these two teams. Bomb plant available. Amanek is going to get that one on the floor to put a bit of extra pressure onto Yampi. And he just ducks away with that Glock in hand. So this is smartly played so far from Amanek, but still plenty more time for Yampi to work with.
It's just edging around to blue. He heard all the B-hops happening. But Amanek, he's played him like a fiddle all the way to IV. Bomb's going to be planted for this position as well. This is already a one-round Yampi. He's got that kit at least, but 46 HP, no armor. Just going to take 1 or 2 Glock bullets here to finish him off. How's the timing? How's the spacing? Off it he goes. And he's actually got the time. A huge shot coming out from Yampi, and ENCE clutch the second pistol.
No
Would love
way.
a replay of that. That looked like one of those sort of like 90-degree flickers.
No way.
So G2, do they force up here? Because you got this sort of sitting at this 2.8k to 3.4. Could have some AK no head armor sort of buys up here. Some drops of those AKs. This is the shot I wanted to see. Oh, it's a bit messy, but he sort of wrangled it back.
Yeah, like, no worries, fellas. I just denied the bomb plant through the smoke and clutched the 1-on-1.
Odds favouring G2 as you expect them to at this point in the game. They're up quite a bit. And they're just going to take the single save here, not going for that aggressive AK force buy that a lot of teams are favouring, which is an interesting decision, especially looking at this G2 roster. I've got a lot of players that I would love to give a hero AK and see what work they can get done on this roster, but instead they're choosing to take the more passive approach to the economy, favouring that utility, favouring getting a full buy in the next.
Well, it's a bit more of a percentage play, isn't it? You know that you're going to have plenty of rounds to play with, so giving up 1 right now is not a big issue at all. Does give ENCE the chance to sort of get warmed up a little bit on this CT side, though.
And build their economy a little bit is the thing. Like, they're not losing any guns here, Jordan. They have survived with all 5 players alive.
Yep.
So now you're looking at G2. They kind of have to get 2 gun rounds across the board, and they're still only sitting on that 4.4 to 5k sort of score. Economy. Why am I struggling so much? Maybe it's because it's 5:30 in the morning.
A nice nuance in that last round as well. Yampi, after getting the initial pick, he threw that M4 across to Aerial because Yampi was down on 30 HP, and he didn't want to fall and give that M4 up at Ivy. But again, Sunny, massive hold on the Famous. Anyway, into round 18 we go, and that's going to be a pretty solid buy coming up for G2.
Yeah, full utility on a lot of these players. Looks like they're going to run a bit of a default here. Try to anticipate some aggression. They know that ENCE have some weaker rifles. Lots of damage there onto Jackson to T-Con. He's been isolated and taken out by ENCE. Very nice utility usage there from ENCE. Might take a look at that a little bit later. Round starts to slow down a little bit now as G2 in this 4-on-5 do what I see a lot of teams do. Just try to close out the 4-on-5 towards the small site. Hit a nice timing, hit some decent shots, but with only 1 flash to get into the site, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
Very nicely timed resmoke as well. You can see G2, they're definitely looking like they want to go through down to that B bomb site, but for now, just going to have to wait the smoke out.
ENCE were fully aware for that as well. As soon as they had that man advantage, the B players just went deep, all the way back to Oil, all the way back to the hump. And now it's just a matter of timing. Util coming through. Here comes the ENCE and the rest of G2.
Yeah, no flash there from G2 that at least connects onto Sergey, but one was thrown. So far, so good for ENCE, but Hunter dives in there, nearly gets himself a third. Won't have such luck, but Nexa, that's a nice headshot. He'll have to win the 1-on-3, but he has a good idea of where Yampy is. This is now doable. But he has to plant the bomb safe from ramp, and surely starting to get a bit clued on that maybe Aerial's coming from behind. I wonder, has Nexa left it too late? He's only got 20 seconds here. He's seen him. It's going to come down to the aim duel, and Nexa can't quite win it.
Nexa just the perfect read on the situation and then fully backed himself into the final fight, which is exactly what you need to do. You need to have the confidence, but unfortunately he just couldn't land the final shot and unable to clutch it out in the 1v3. However, G2, they're looking sharp. They're looking like they know what they need to do to get over the line, but ENCE are just clutching these out one round at a time. 4 rounds the difference, and G2, no bomb plant, so no extra money, and off the back of that, you just have a couple of pistols, 2 nades, 1 flash, so let's see where these get utilized. Maybe into ladder? No, okay. What's the plan here for G2?
Well, they have 1 flash, so that's really all they've got to get into a bomb site. Yeah, the HG nades can soften a target here or there, but at the end of the day, with this kind of a buy, G2 need to close the distance if they're going to do some damage. So that 1 flash is going to be pivotal in getting them into close range against the 2 scoped weapons on ENCE. And haven't had too much success with that. Sergey, he'll just spray down Kenny S. Bit too easy so far for ENCE on the CT side. Maybe we wrote the map off a little bit too soon.
Edging down the ladder. Great timing on these rotated smokes at ladder. And it looks like G2 might just make a timing play straight through. That's what it's going to be. No utility. Cuban flashbang the jump across from Hunter. It's enough to get the opening. Jack's on the dig. This is deadly now. Man advantage for G2. It's working on the pistols. They get it all. Oh, what a round from G2. The contact play out ladder.
Where has that even come from? G2, they just waltz their way in. It's a contact play, Mac. It's a firing squad. You might even see it on the replay here. There's 4 G2 players looking at Aerial. Jax hits a fantastic shot onto Sunny, and then the house of cards just falls apart. And that might be the round that ENCE could not afford to lose.
That's just the firepower of G2. You know, they're so good on those Deagles, so many strong players on this roster, and ENCE, unfortunately, that cracks their economy here at 12-7. You could see G2, they sense blood in the water. They're just rolling onto this outside train yard in this anti-eco, getting in the face of their opponents. In the meanwhile, ENCE has tried to go for an aggression play towards Ivy. It's been read nicely by Kenny. He's got it locked down.
Oh no, that nade as well. A bit too much damage there.
No, we don't talk about those.
Perfect. It was perfect.
Perfect
play. Wasn't on stream, no one saw it. 13-7 though, the scoreline, and that's good enough for G2. Who cares if one of your players dies in a round like that? If you get yourself up to 13 and, oh man, ENCE. The CT side was looking so good, and then they lost the eco.
That's just classic though, you know? When you get one of these European all-star teams and they get some pistols in their hands, it's just, you know, you even see it sometimes from like a Liquid or a EG, one of those very talent-heavy NA rosters. They'll just explode out of the gates. Couple players hit a couple quick 1-deeks. Very quick out Olaf this round from G2, similar to the last.
Yeah, G2's continuing to explode out onto the bomb sites. Amanek does drop early this time, and ENCE feeling a bit more prepared. That's great work from Sunny. A double kill so far stops G2 in their tracks.
Solid positioning. And now from here, the 2-man disadvantage, G2, can they get it across the line? Can they pull the unthinkable? We know that Nexa has the firepower. As Kenny just making a whole world of noise, hoping that it'll bait ENCE into going to take T-Con. That's not the setup they're waiting for. Hunter here just at the ready, but he can't thread the needle. Ooh, he's going to cop more than he gives as well. Sunny unable to capitalize.
He's lucky to get out of there alive, to be honest. He almost gets his legs clipped off. Kind of like cutting your toenails.
Okay. Where do you cut them though, Jordan? In the bathroom? In the bedroom with the carpet floor? Oh,
no.
That's not a good
That's
look.
not it.
That's gross. You go outside.
Bathroom gang.
Outside.
Go outside.
I just picture Mac on his front lawn clipping his toenails in front of the neighbours.
You go on this.
Sorry, it was bad mental image. Just triggered my gag reflex.
I'm done. I'm out of here. See, at least I think I'm beautiful, Jordan.
Someone has to.
You're so mean. Oh, look, the producer thinks I'm beautiful. Great. I'm so happy that I'm not the only one. Anyway, this is going to be the push out towards the B site. Alu able to stop for the moment. The bomb plant goes down just in time. Nexa gets the rifle back out, but Yampi not going to give Nexa any space at all. And that's going to be 8 on the board for ENCE now, who are edging back into the game round by round.
Yeah. Good stuff from ENCE. They've built that money back on up a little bit. It's a nice response after just a little bit of a falter. So that's what we're going to try and gauge here. Is that just a bit of a falter or a symptom of a bigger problem on this CT side for ENCE? So far, it looks like just a little bit of a falter, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think G2, they've got a lot of money, so they're going for a more aggressive kind of play style because they don't fear that economic reset. I think as well, they realize, you know, Sunny's that sandwich player. They're trying to potentially try to isolate some weakness there, but Sunny stepping up in a key round, a key multi-frag to keep G2 in check, and now I would expect them to probably go back to something a little slower. Again, they're throwing the same utility out of T-Con as before, flashes as well as that E-box smoke, just to sort of keep ENCE in check, threaten that they're going for the same play again and try to draw out a bit of utility. But in the meanwhile, G2 heading over towards this inner side of the map. Sergey's over here, he's got a Molotov to play with. Alu's on that line towards lower ramp. Seems like G2 now setting up for this inner's execute.
Oh, all of those smokes get thrown on in. A couple of players here for ENCE, but how much of a chance are they going to have to actually defend? They'll use their own util, a bit of counter util, but the bomb hasn't actually committed. Stuck behind that molly, and ENCE is given extra time to get into the bomb site. Sunny and Alu open up the account. Amanek, he got deep into the site, but it doesn't matter. When ENCE is hitting shots at the moment, it's really going to have to rely now on Nexa to find this frag, which he will, but a bit too late to save Kenny.
2v3, Nexa can't get more done, and it's up to Hunter now. 1v3 to clutch it, and misses the first. He's going to be stuck here at mid-bomb, but no trade comes through just yet. Yampi going to be forced off the line. Sunny can't stop him from getting back to default. 38 HP now. Him versus Yampi, who just has the secondary in hand. It's going to be the P2K on the AK. And Hunter clutches it. 1v3. Huge play, huge hold. And G2 now just 2 rounds away from causing the upset on map 1.
Man, it hasn't been the easiest of run through this map, has it, for G2? But they are getting the job done. They're grinding away at some of these rounds. And when push comes to shove in those high-pressure situations, it seems like G2 is just a little bit better. That's a big clutch for Hunter. Map's not over just yet, but it's getting mighty close.
That was giving me some old school train vibes, the way he was moving around that bomb train perfectly. Take a look at the tactical timeout. We may as well have a look at that execute, because I thought that was pretty sick from G2. You know, we've all seen this in his execute, but I wanted to highlight, like, where can you actually play as a CT here when you come out? When the T's are coming out here. You've got mollies all over the pop dog train and the bomb train. You can play here at coils. That's getting hard cleared. You see the CTs kind of have to fall back a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to get flashed off the line and isolate. Like, there's only a couple of places you can really play from. Everything else is just pushed out by utility usage from G2. So that's the trademark of a pretty well-designed execute.
Love to see it. Great stuff from G2. They're pulling out all the stops to get over the line against ENCE. And what's so crazy to me about this map so far is we're at 14-8. That looks like a pretty one-sided scoreline. But I really feel like the map has actually been a bit of a push and pull.
In terms of the momentum, it certainly has. But yeah, 6-round lead can still be closed by ENCE as long as they really start to hit their shots. But they're not going to be able to do that with the best firepower. Now straight out towards the A site. Sunny in the corner already. Manages to at least draw a lot of attention. Alu's the one to thread the needle. And it's a man advantage. Now Alu with another onto Amanek. Yampi just drawing attention on the middle of bomb. Now Hunter, Kenny has last 2 alive as Aerial gets another. It's going to be the flank coming through. All up to Kenny now in the 1v4. And he's missed the bomb on the exit. That's going to be a freebie. ENCE with 4 alive on that miscellaneous buy. The biggest mixed bag of lollies we've ever seen.
Yeah, just when G2 has the opportunity for the finishing blow, they let their foot off the neck a little bit, and ENCE is able to catch their breath. Buy's going to come through from ENCE. G2, bit of a discussion to be had here. What's going on? how do we have to keep going down to these clutch situations to get rounds? And what are we buying? Well, Deagle and Mac 10 for Jackson Amanek is all they'll be able to afford.
Yeah, it's a pretty scuff buy here for G2, but at least they've got the round difference to be able to recover here. Initial smoke onto Sandwich and E-Box once again here for G2. ENCE replies with their own utility usage, secures that T-Con and SL control. And G2, once again, they go back to what's been working for them. They want to try their luck with this Inners execute, but with much less Molotovs and flashes than before, they're going to have to go for a bit of a different approach.
It's enough to work, though. If they get a good flash here onto Sergey, which they do, they'll be able to get out of the ramp. Now, Jack's dangerous with the Deagles so far on this map. He's going to have his opportunity, but decides to just go and plant that bomb. Now, this util is going to cause a big problem for G2, but luckily a smoke comes in right at the perfect time for them to at least get off of default, but they can't get off the site. So this is really going to have to come down to Kenny S with that AWP, unless one of these two guys on the bomb site goes hero mode.
Well, Nexa manages to get the one-way over the top there and just dancing around it, waiting for the smoke to fade. Yes, trying to come in with the cover, but it looks like it's too little, too late. At least finds the first, but look, that defuse is going to be stuck, and ENCE, they're in it. They're in the double digits. They're in the territory to get back into the game. And the economy, it's looking pretty all right. 3 alive at the end of this one.
Yeah, 14-10. Money's not quite there for G2. Well, that's a very dark
Who was
game
that?
to play in. Room? Game to play in? Room. That's what I'm looking for.
Sunny. Sunny is the one in the darkest room.
What? Hang on. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's like one of those ironic names,
Ah,
like Elfish guy.
why is that ironic?
Because you're not an elf. Anyway, I thought that was pretty obvious.
You're not a Mac. So,
I thought I was a Mac. I'm a Macaleer, mate.
No, I'm a Pilsky, so
of course, yeah,
You're
I
the
guess.
odd one out,
I guess, yeah, screw me then, I guess.
yeah. Would if I could, Jordan, but you won't let me.
Hang on,
It's,
hang on.
Hey, ho, all right. We're on broadcast, family show. Let's keep it real.
Sorry, what?
Did anyone hear that?
What? I don't know. G2, they're throwing that utility toward Inner again.
Captain Pride's in chat.
There's 3 CTs over there towards Inner, but it's actually the play out of SL. All picks going back and forth here.
Ariel, solid position here, able to get control of the bomb now, and this should be an ENCE round, all things considered. Alus threads it on to Kenny S as well. And they're in solid position to close it. Boost up, going to be spotted though. Nexa had that opportunity. Big bink onto Sunny. Huge damage, but he's not able to finish off Sergey. Alu as well coming in from Ivy just to find the final man, and that is going to be 11 on the board for ENCE.
ENCE are fighting hard at the moment, aren't they? But they still have a lot of rounds to claw back. And we'll see a buy through here for G2. Job's not going to get easier for either of these two teams. It's a real brawl toward the end of train. It's actually going to be a half buy from G2. So a couple of Mac 10s, a few Tech 9s, bit of util. What are we thinking here, Pilski? Is this a faster play?
Could be. I think G2's sort of at that full loss bonus situation at this point, or definitely moving in that direction. So they're just looking to try to get that AWP and the full utility in the next round. Very fast play towards Ivy, actually catches Alu completely off guard.
That's exactly what G2 wants. Jack's able to jump up and down on that blue train. He's not even required. It's Kenny S and Nexa that are doing all the work, and Hunter surely doesn't get a double with a Tech 9, which inevitably will ring true, but still a 3-on-1 here for Yampi, and ENCE again just dropping the ball right when it really matters. It was a rough buy. It was a scuffed buy for G2, but they're able to get it done. Yampi's going to save the AWP.
Well, G2 pushing it across the line to 15 now. Let's see what happens in the next, because there's no way Yampi's going to be able to get out of SL with this AWP. No, not even able to get back in now. Nexa, he's happy to go for the hunt. The economy in a pretty decent situation, so G2, they realize that he does have his mitts on that AWP. And oh, Kenny S, has he been able to find the timing here? 14 HP, Yampi, can he survive? Oh no! In comes Kenny.
G2 just time and time again seem to be able to get so much value out of these half buys. The Deagles before, they got a round win across the board. That time, they catch ENCE off guard with a blistering pace towards Ivy, as well as the bit of the pinch from T-Con. And it works out beautifully for him. Now they secure match point. They move into yet another bye with very, very strong economy. And ENCE, they've got their bank broken here. They have to go down to a Deagle on Yampy. Ariel only has a UMP and no utility. Sergey's got no utility. So it's only really Alu and Sunny who have access to a full buy here in G2. Going back to what's worked time and time again, it's going to be a play towards that inner sight. But that's where a lot of the utility lies on Alu, and Sergey does have that M4 to his disposal.
Well, utility timer is going to be quite important here for Alu. He might try to get himself a frag before he throws it, but the smoke does actually go down at the right time. So that's a good read so far from Alu. Inevitably, he also gets smoked off, which would allow G2 into the bomb site. Sergey tries to hold, run over by the Tech 9 of Kenny S.
And that last time, you saw that sandwich, that middle bomb train smoke come out. Amnet getting flashed through the smoke now, though.
Back 10.
Okay. Entry back in, Kenny on the trade. Now, Nexa needs to go big from this position to close it out for G2. He's made his way to the back lines, but Alu denies him for the moment. Now, that's going to be a man advantage. Hunter,
That's
he's going to be spotted.
I don't know, was he spotted? Ariel wasn't, that's for sure, and Hunter's going to go down. That means that Jax has to do this solo jumping up and down. He's trying to make it happen. No! Alu, headshot with the AWP, and ENCE again survives with that weaker buy. It seems just, again, when G2 have that opportunity to really finish things off, they're not able to make that happen. And the grind continues.
It's interesting that Sergey plays on the middle of bomb train there. When the last time that execute came out, G2 mollied off that position. And again, they did it from upper ramp. The molly onto middle bomb train actually pushed Sergey out of position. However, ENCE taking their time, not rushing things on the retake, even though they're facing match point. They do just take their time. They punished a lot of aggression coming out there from G2. Trying to get aggressive up that train yard, because if you do just play passive, once you secure that big site plant, it's one of the more retakeable sites in the game for the CTs. So sometimes you do need to go for that aggression, and again, the aggression has worked out nicely for G2, at least in the earlier parts of the round as opposed to the post plant. And they're going to slow things down now.
Yeah, it's a change up from G2. Not such a fast round, at least not fully committing to that fast play. They've also gone toward A instead of B initially, which has caught ENCE off guard. And Nexa hits a nice shot through the flash to get them that opener. 15-12, 4-on-5. Surely this is it for G2.
Should be. Is it going to be that contact play? It's just the one flash coming out here for Nexa, and all the boys get sent in.
Oh, and Sergey, perfect position to deal with it. There's the three.
No!
The quad, not the ace, though. Nexa denies it. But now 1v3 again. Is he going to be able to clutch this out? He's got a whole minute to play with, and he just needs a bit of information.
How's he managed that? How do you get that many frags on your own on the B site?
You got to say, like, okay, I know that looks really weird, right? What G2 just went for. The flash push through the low ramp smoke, I don't really agree with it. But anyone who's played like and watched a lot of demos from very, very good train teams in the past, like Virtus Pro back in their like dominant era is a good example of this. Whenever they got man advantages, they used to just keep things very simple, group up towards the small site and a flash in towards inners and just close out the round that way. And it used to be a pretty like high percentage successful way of making the round work. That time it's gone against G2. They try to hard commit through a smoke. Now they're trying to catch this Ivy timing again, and that's not worked out for them. Cleaned up nicely by ENCE, who are looking to secure a 14th round here, Jordan.
Couple of scrappy rounds so far from G2, but as you say, ENCE are only looking to grab their 14th. So they do have that one round of insurance here for G2. They're not putting everything into this round. You'll notice it wasn't a full investment. They saved. They've got enough money for the round coming. This is the important one for G2. This is the one where they're going to be thinking, okay, look, if we've got anything left in the strat book, if there's a plan B or a plan C, or at this point it's probably even a plan D or E, this is the round we pull it out in.
I feel like ENCE has seen pretty much everything G2 has to offer on this T side, really. Just a question of whether they can have the right setup or react accordingly. It seems like a lot of the times, ENCE have been quite resilient in the mid-round.
Oh, the age gap.
Yeah.
7 years old.
People born in the year 2000 are now 20.
Oh.
Shot through the heart.
No.
I feel so old.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but if you know anything about AWP kills, all you need is just a handful of them to 1v4 order at IM Sydney.
No, let's not bring that up.
Why are you bringing that up?
He's not even in this game. Why do you have to...
Look, he's just talking about AWP kills. I just, just saying.
You could have talked about Nifty's 50 frags at IEM Sydney if you really wanted to talk about something at
Honorary
IEM.
Australian.
All right.
I'm just having a bit of a chuckle. Either way, very critical round. Into round number 30. It's gone the distance. Initial E-box and back of green train smokes out for G2. Trying to draw out some utility, a bit of a response from ENCE, who were already stacked towards that inner site. And it doesn't really cause a shift in their rotations. They are very sure G2 is going towards this inner site. You see Sergey on that CT hump. He's got a molly. Ariel's got a full belt of utility. Alu's got a full belt of utility at upper ramp. And they're set up, ready for this B play right from the get-go. This should be a defense from ENCE.
It's not a bad gamble. G2 have been quite heavy toward the B side so far in their T side. Once again, they're just going to execute out. Sergey's in a perfect spot. He can even play in front of the smoke that's going to land at connector. Gets the incendiary down at a good time as well. This is looking bad for G2, but Jax finds an entry. Maybe there's another twist and another turn to the round. Ariel gives away his position. Nexa can't get off the bomb in time. All of a sudden, it falls apart for G2.
The wrap going at the perfect moment. Back to the 2-on-2 we go as Jackson Hunter managed to hit back at the perfect moment. Sunny waiting. Molly goes down and just gets away in time before Hunter spots him. But now it's Alu isolated, spotting Kenny over the smoke. And that's going to be the bomb plant secured. Now, Hunter able to play from upper. But look at this Sunny. He's going on the full rotation back through SL. Let's see if Alu can buy the time.
Well, it's going to take quite a while for Sunny to actually get back into position here. And at the moment, Hunter looks like he wants to check. The question is, will he? He's crept into the ramp. He's got no idea. Sunny's behind him, and that's overtime.
Woo! Alrighty. So this map not done just yet. I'm excited to catch a little bit more. 15-15 as we head into OT. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just a moment with that, so don't go too far because it's overtime. ENCE and G2.
Still it feels like I saw you every day. Tired of hanging around the ones that always need an explanation. I don't need to every day. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else.
I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your everything. I could buy you anything, anything on your everything, everything. Buy you anything, anything on your. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call a shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. And no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Every day I wonder when I'm gonna peak at, and that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting the blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on...
Overtime is the name of the game between G2 and ENCE, and it was ENCE that made such a stoic comeback in the second half of Train that pushed us all the way here. Some might say G2 had many opportunities to finish the map off, but now they're going to have to do it the hard way. 15-15 the scoreline, round one of overtime, and G2 going to need to show us a little bit more on their T side than just a B execute.
Yeah, I would say the same. They've had a little bit of SL control, a little bit of Ivy pressure with those pistols. Can they maybe abuse that in the gun round, or will they just go back to this fast T-Con approach, which hasn't done them any favors? Alu's found a very easy opening pick there onto the player trying to come up Olaf. Nexa under pressure into T-Con as well.
A couple of trades already. Sunny with some extra aggression. Nice nade from Alu to find another. Kenny's gets away, and he's not going to be spotted, so that's at least the bomb picked up and in the safe hands of the AWP. Kenny's expecting that aggression now. ENCE with the two-man advantage.
That's
getting a bit big for their boots.
Pretty important pick, actually. 4-on-2 seems unwinnable. 3-on-2, a bit more doable.
Definitely could be. Hunter using the smoke to his advantage. Does creep out onto the line. He's going to find Alu here for free.
And this round's not done yet. G2 with a fighting chance. Now Aerial has still managed to sit here at Sandwich, and it's a matter of time. Sergey is going to find the trade. And there it is. Great teamwork coming out from ENCE, just relaying all the information, covering all the angles at the perfect time. And G2 almost managed to get back into the round.
Very messy. But it's not really going to matter in terms of the economy here in OT. I think we do have the MR16 format. So ENCE can buy pretty much anything that they want. Wow, a smile from a Scandinavian. That's new.
Yeah, he saw the sign that Mac had before.
I feel like you just made a whole lot of enemies, Mitch.
Why? Nothing wrong with that.
Just smile, guys. Just smile. It's fine. Alu's going to get aggressive this time, and that's going to work out nicely. Hunter down already. Cops a grenade to the face for his troubles, but that's all good. Don't worry about it. 4-on-5. ENCE is happy. G2 not so much, as they'll work their way into the A bomb site. A trade comes through. It's Kenny S that gets the kill onto Sunny. Now we're back to 4-on-4 with G2 taking a lot of control of the site, and Jack's finding the perfect time onto Alu creeping up the ladder. Bomb plant can go down now, and ENCE, well, they're not even going to have a 3-on-4 retake. It's now a 2-on-4.
Jax with some solid cover, and it's going to be the 2v4 again. Both the ENCE players fighting from the back of green. Smoke starting to fade now. Aerial doubling back, expecting Jax in this position, but even so, Jax just tapping heads left, right, and center. That's going to be the 3K for the round as Yampy again needs to try to clutch it. And he's just got the AWP. How's the timing? Nexa, he's going to go down. All right, 1v2 now. Spots both the remaining Ts, but Jax another quad kill in OT to keep G2 in it.
16-16. Always requiring someone to step up in any one of these rounds is G2. I feel like a lot of the wins that they've had have been from individuals having a round like this from Jax. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or not. Either way, they've got themselves at least an equalizing round. And we'll see who goes through to the second half with the advantage.
I just learned something from chat. Finland's not Scandinavian country.
Learn something new every day.
There you go.
Oh, I've been taught something by chat.
All I'm going to say, Pilski, is if it isn't Australia, who cares?
Most people don't even think Australia's a real country.
Home
So
is
there you
where
go.
the heart is, and the heart's right in the center.
Love it or leave it.
Whoa!
Thanks, chat. Thanks for keeping me in line with my BS.
Well, 4-on-4 is how this round has started to pan out. Yampy's on a good line. This is the first time, actually, that we've seen G2 toward Ivy on their T side, really, in a gun round.
This will be an important
Oh,
duel.
nice.
Nicely done by Yampy. Finds that pick. He's going to drop the smoke behind it as well. G2 looking for opportunities here. We've seen them turn around these damn disadvantageous situations before if they find the timings.
Yampi is going to hear the drop coming out from Kenny S there, so 39 seconds. Alu's actually managed to find another into SL from Bomb Train, so last two players from G2. They seem to be aware that they're coming in from Ivy. Surely this one's communicated. Yampi hearing everything and just waiting for the perfect timing to go through. Next to with the reload, the cover's not quite there. Now's the perfect moment. There's the 1-for-1 as Kenny S might be able to get back into it, but he needs to hit some nasty ones.
15 seconds, Mac. This is going to have to be unbelievable from Kenny. Rounds the corner. No idea that they're both
he
there.
got him! What?
He hit the shot, but it doesn't matter, fellas. It's still the round for ENCE.
Oh my god. Kenny! He's here to play today.
I wonder if, I don't know if we can get a replay of that in this time, but I feel like he didn't even, on our screen, he didn't even flick that far, you know? Let's have a look. If we slow this down, I don't know.
It wasn't a no-scope either, was it?
It was the guy sitting in the corner. I think it was a no-scope.
No, it was a quickie. Otherwise, it'll be on the kill feed, remember?
True.
We've got those hieroglyphics to tell us now.
Love a good quickie. Now, into the second half of OT, we do have G2 on the defense. Now they need to get all three to close it out.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to do that. Nice pop flash for Amanek to try and find himself the pick there, and throws a little one-way so he could creep up the ladder, look for info. ENCE now going towards this B side of the map.
All the way out they go next, so just waiting here. Nice off angle. That's going to be the bomb spotted. Aerial up the lane is going to make... Oh, it's actually Sergey to get the trade. Now, let's see how Kenny can go from here. Back of oil, just buying time. Aerial, a nasty one to find the head again. Just hunting Hunter as Kenny. Is he going to expect this aggression?
What about Amanek? That's the real question. He's fully flashed, fully white. He's got no idea. Aerial's in Z connector, and that's the end of Jax. Amanek looks for the trade, but he cannot get it. And again, Kenny S, the odds are against him here.
That's beautiful from Aerial. He's played that perfectly. Been sent in by the flash, finds the pick, baits the peek out from that other player. Now Sergey's going to come a Gooper stomp onto Kenny S and put ENCE on match point. It's been a grind.
Yep.
But they may actually be picking up their map here after being down, what was it, like 14-8 or something like that? 14-9?
Yeah, I think it was 14-8. Yeah, it was 14-8.
That's a pretty good comeback. On the CT side, no less. Those comebacks on the CT side are cooked sometimes, especially when your money gets real shaky.
Which it did multiple times for ENCE, but they won every single one of those important kind of force by, half by sort of rounds.
It's a clutch one. Let's see if G2 are just as clutch here. They're facing match point, need to win 2 on the trot to push it into yet another OT. Lots of utility being put in towards Olaf, T-Con, and SL from G2, as we do have the sandwich and E-box smokes coming out from ENCE. They have secured that SL control, and they're going to try and hit a timing onto Outer now.
Well, they're going to have to do something special here, and G2, so far, the start is not good. It's actually not just bad. It's kind of getting awful. It's 3-on-5. Kenny S down as well. Yampi, he's been let run amok on the A-bomb site. 4-on-2 the remainder, but Jax, he salvages it with a double. Unfortunately, he's not going to have enough, and Sergey and Sunny will finish it off. ENCE get the match.